Scream until you like it. Kick it. Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. I know I got a lot of crap to choose from on the internet, so thanks for coming by. Let me know what your favorite W.A.S.P record and song is in the comments below, and let's start talking about W.A.S.P. Formed in the LA music scene around 1982, this heavy metal band W.A.S.P pretty much broke pretty quickly. They were, for me, seen early on. Their first record, I saw them as kind of as like an evil Kiss kind of a thing. Let's get the vinyl collection, since this is primarily a vinyl channel. MTV embraced them. I don't know if the first time I saw one of their videos was on Headbangers Ball proper, or it was just played late at night when MTV used to play really good stuff late at night. So this is their debut album, of course. The great stuff. I Want to Be Somebody, Love Machine, Flame, just perfect stuff on this record. And to me, like I said, it was just like an evil Kiss. I was like, whoa, these guys are throwing raw meat around, and everything looks awesome visually, just everything you want as a kid. You know, I'm 13 years old. I see this at the record store, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Of course I want it. School Days 12-inch single, got that. This came out, and my favorite W.A.S.P album to this day, The Last Command, Wild Child, Fistful of Diamonds, Jack Action, Blind, oh, it just goes on and on. This is when I was like, alright, I need to see these guys. And my friend was getting tickets to the Kiss Asylum tour in 1985-86 because Black and Blue was the opening band, this band called Black and Blue, and he really liked them. And I was so secretly happy when they announced that Black and Blue was on some portion, but then the portion of that tour that came to Chicago had W.A.S.P opening up for it. And I was like, yes, I finally get to see these evil Kiss guys. And opening for Kiss. And actually, they blew Kiss away. They just were younger and hungrier and just seemed like they were like, come on, Chicago, we're here to kick your butt. And, you know, they only had 2 records at the time, obviously. So they're just playing all the great early stuff. I just remember it being one hell of a show. And like I said, on this album, it had some big hits. For me, at least, you know, Blind in Texas, of course, everyone loves that one. Wild Child, probably my favorite W.A.S.P song. Great video, like the Road Warrior kind of look to the video. I mean, you see this stuff as a young teenager, and you're hooked on heavy metal. Then, what happened was, I guess the band was just blown out of touring, and inner band relationships were just, see, sometimes you don't put out a great record. Inside the Electric Circus, I was really hyped to get this. I remember bringing it home, putting it on a turntable, and just not being as happy as I wanted to be. Some songs tried to like, just, you know, I Don't Need No Doctor. That was good, but yeah, just as a record, I was like, come on, Blackie. What the hell's going on? They released this live one to hold us fans over for a little bit. That was good stuff. I had the Scream Until You Like It from Ghoulies 2. That was a good little cheesy heavy metal jam. Then the Headless Children, probably my second favorite W.A.S.P record. It has The Real Me, of course. Forever Free is the slow, classic, jammy thing on this one. Great stuff. So, they put this out, and then after this is what? 89. So, yeah. This is when I'm slowly, like, heavy metal's, it's not run its course, because I love it, still love it to this day, but I was really out seeking what else was out there for sure, and I was putting a lot of the heavy metal bands that I grew up with on the 80s, kind of in the back burner around 89, 90 for sure, 91, but vinyl-wise I continue. Recently I just starting to get more of their newer vinyl. That's one of the new ones. But yeah, so after the Headless Children, I was just kind of more into, like, you know, CDs. So I got the Idol first one, but this is the reissue of it. We'll talk more about that. KFD on CD. Still not black enough. I haven't checked this one out too much. Alpha. Babylon. I really like this one. And this one I still need to check out a little more. W.A.S.P. Dominator. So, unbelievable career, 15 records, and I was just, I had a friend that was in Germany, and he walked into a bar and playing, like, the back room of this bar was W.A.S.P. This was maybe just, I don't know, 12, 15 years ago, and I was like, oh, they're still around? So then, you know, I started recently to collect some of their stuff, and then boom, a big announcement, their 40th anniversary tour. A year ago, and some change, they were teasing, like, they're going to do some tour 40th anniversary. It's going to feature all these early songs. It's going to bring back the early stage show with girls on torture racks and blood and meat and more blood and flame and Blackie's saw blade between his crotch. What else could you want from heavy metal? Yeah, I'm in. I'll buy a ticket to that. So, I haven't seen them in a while, but I'm like, hey, they're going to be playing a lot of the early stuff. That'd be great. But I'm sure they'll be playing a few, stuff from the newer records. So, like I said, got a lot of the new records, and it was all set. Had to wait a whole year. And then the day comes, let's go to the show. LA's own, again, heavy metal icons, Armored Saint. They are the opening band of this show. Had to work, get home, shower quick. Head all the way out to St. Charles, Illinois. It's about an hour away from me here. It's more like affluent, way far out suburb of Chicago. So it's safe. It's safe. You could park your car anywhere. What a change, right? That's great. The Arcada Theater. It was built like in the 20s. Classic theater. You can see anything there from like Olivia Newton-John tribute bands, Journey tribute bands, stuff like that, to like heavy metal bands that are coming through that are past their heyday, but Warrant, Skid Row, Winger, stuff like that. So it's fun. It's fun. It's a beautiful theater. The problem is it's a theater. So your seat is a theater seat. And you're like, come on, man. And I'm not that big, but there's a lot of big people in this world, and they're going to overflow into your seat, whether you wanted them or not. They're just going to be there. So it's a very intimate setting. Opening, I said, was Armored Saint. They have 8 studio records. I just have this one. I did have another one of theirs, the follow-up after this one, and I sold it. One of my, I have a lot of records, so every once in a while I have to purge. So sorry, Armored Saint. So I only have this one, March of the Saint, classic one from '84. Has Can You Deliver, which is their most probably known song. John Bush, singer, sounded excellent, sounded so good. And really, there's 4 of the 5 guys from the classic lineup. So you're truly seeing Armored Saint. You're not seeing like some guy plus new people thing, that happens a lot in music. So you're seeing Armored Saint. John Bush, of course, he did a short stint in Anthrax. They are awesome. And they have a new record out, Punch the Sky, or Punching the Sky. And I'm going to purchase that vinyl just because they were so great live and they sounded so good. I'm like, man, I was kind of fooled for selling that other record. Really great band and a solid choice for an opening act. Thank you, bands that aren't afraid to put a kick-ass band to open up for them. Some bands don't do that. You don't know that, do you? When planning a tour, some bands that aren't that confident in themselves will pick a suck-ass opening band because they know that they're just going to look a lot better than that. And they'll tell the sound guys sometimes, don't make them sound so good, or just, they won't let them have as much up on stage. And so there's a lot of weirdness, but hats off to W.A.S.P saying, hey, we want our fans to get a good show. I paid $80 to sit way up in the balcony, although it's a small theater. I think it just holds like 800 people or so. But, $80, that's not cheap. Sit way up there in the balcony. $80, you want front row. You ain't getting front row for $80 these days. Even for a W.A.S.P show at a smaller theater, you ain't getting it. But Armored Saint played good. Played about an hour, just under an hour. It was an awesome show. Thanks for having a great opening band. All right, with the anticipation. Now, W.A.S.P, I don't know if they do this every night, but they're going to make you wait a good half hour between bands. So plenty of time to take a little pee-pee, plenty of time to get a few beer refills, plenty of time just to stand up if you're at a theater and your legs are just beyond blood flowing right now. Before the concert, I did on YouTube, because everything is on social media, I looked up a few songs from a few shows prior, just to kind of get a feel for what it's going to be. And of course, a lot of people have uploaded the Q&A, so for a few $100 more, you can hang out, I believe, after the show, and Blackie will sign some stuff, and you could film it. So that's pretty cool on his part. I mean, a lot of people like, you can't film the Q&As, or, you can't film everything backstage, or whatever. So you're paying for this VIP experience, which I'm assuming, he'll autograph stuff, and then he goes around, and everyone gets asked him a question. And he's answering any question people are throwing at them, so hats off for that. A recent question was, hey, are you singing to backing tracks? And he is, and he admitted it, which hats off to somebody who's admitting it. Now, he's saying, hey, I'm singing lead vocals. It's just the harmonies you guys are hearing are pumped in, and I don't know if he said some, like, orchestra hits and stuff like that that help, create a fuller sound. Those are pumped in. But obviously it's not a lip syncing thing. You know, the group is playing their instruments, he's singing lead. Are there a lot of effects on the vocals? Yeah. I mean, Armored Saint had effects on his vocal. You're going to get the echo and stuff like that. You had it back in the day, and then you have it now. You have it a little more enhanced now, because as these guys get older, it's harder to scream as much and hit those higher notes. So yeah. But you're still seeing live rock and roll, which is important. And it's important that he addressed it. Said, hey, yeah, we're doing that. You know, a lot of bands do either offstage musicians way back in the day, or nowadays they just put it all on a laptop, and some guy's assigned the sit side of the stage, you know, and cue it in, and the drummer's got to hear the click track, and he's got to start the band. You got to play it exactly that speed, because that's when the backing vocals are coming in. You can see on YouTube some people have flubbed that. It's pretty bad. But anyway, so I didn't mind so much. Yeah, it's cooler when it's 100% live, but it was okay. What people are upset about in this show, and they do have a right to be upset about in this fact, is that early on it seemed to be promised more of a throwback to like the Blood and that kind of show. The theatrics of the show is very limiting. He has a cool mic stand that he sings into. He's got some artwork around him. These large cloths of like a circus sideshow kind of thing. I think that was his early envision for it. He said he grew up in Tampa. Of course, I lived a short time in Tampa. He actually grew up, what the hell was his real name? Stephen Duran. He's 66 years old. So Blackie at 66, man. At 66, I want to just be A, alive, and B, able to walk. And this guy is like, you know, in his boots, and he's rocking off the mic stand. So that's pretty cool at 66, man. So the show also has some TV screens that are flashing old videos. It's pretty much queued up. And when the group is playing, which is, they have to be playing new like a click track, because when the group is playing, the video is pretty much in sync to what they're performing on stage, so the songs are played at the same speed. Everything sounded great for W.A.S.P. My complaint was the set list. They kind of come out and they do On Your Knees, Flame, Torture, Electric Circus, like 4 songs, but like in a medley kind of way, like schmaltzy, like we'll just sing a verse and get to the chorus. Okay. I would have loved to hear all 4 of those songs as individual songs, not kind of blended in. And then they go into Love Machine. Awesome. Wild Child, awesome. And then, obviously, Blackie has a love affair with the Crimson Idol. It's not my favorite W.A.S.P. album, probably his favorite by far. He seems really confident that this is a great piece of art. To me, it's a little cliche. I mean, guy gets, you know, abusive home. Hey, screw you, I'm going to be a rock star, and then the drugs come out. I mean, how many rock videos have we seen with that kind of storyline? Of like rags to riches, but then drugs and fame ruin somebody, and then you know, OD, hang yourself like on a Crimson Idol. To me, I don't grasp it as some great concept. It's great music, but the whole concept, I'm like, hasn't this been done before, like in videos? But and on the Re-Idolized CD, there's a DVD of it. You get to actually like watch the short movie and stuff, and it's fun. I don't mean to be crapping all over it. It's fun. Plays 3 songs from Crimson Idol. On that ends that 3-song thing with Chainsaw Charlie, which is a great song. Then Blind in Texas, and I'm like, whoa, he's going back. We're going back to early stuff. Yeah, this is going to be, and it's over. What? Blind in Texas is it? You're going off stage? Well, of course there's encores. There's always encores. Until they turn the house lights on, you know that band's coming back. Whether you clap for them to come back or not, they're coming back. They're just, you know, rock and roll. You get a long little wait, and then they come out with Animal. There was a cool screen stuff showing the whole old PMRC. Young kids today won't understand, although there's so much censorship today. Censorship never seems to go away, does it? From the 80s, it was from this side. Now it's from that side. Or that. Everyone's going to hell. It's the same old crap. But so they show the old PMRC. So they played Animal, which a lot of people didn't think he was going to play anymore. I guess he hasn't had a set list of that included in the set list for a long time. And he brought up the fact that they haven't had an American tour, he said, in 10 years. He says, you know, because promoters didn't trust us to sell tickets. Well, yeah. Kind of whose fault is that? Like, would you have sold a lot of tickets if you were playing all the new stuff? I may have gone and checked you guys out, but I think a lot of the people were like, hey, W.A.S.P is coming back, playing early stuff, and that was the big appeal. You know, it can get up to like 1,000 people at a W.A.S.P show in 2022. Who would have thought? And then they come back, like I said, Animal, Real Me, and then they close with I Want to Be Somebody. A little over an hour. Like I said, 80 bucks, sit on the balcony, I want a little more. Can you throw in a few more songs? Can you throw in anything from Elvis Children? Can you throw in, I don't know, plug the latest record by one song, or play The Last Command would have been nice. Hellion would have been nice. So I wish a few more songs. So I wish stage show was a little more up there. And you're only going to get Blackie from the classic lineup. But he does throw up a screen. On the screen it has like some of the past people, and he has a big list of people that have helped the band throughout the year. So that's kind of cool. But all in all, did you have fun? Yeah, I had fun. And an old man like me stayed up past midnight. What? Rock and roll, burning the candle at both ends, staying up past midnight. So yeah, all in all, it was a great night. Could have been a little better, but hey, you can't complain, I guess. You had fun, and these 80s heavy metal bands, not going to be around forever. So catch them. This tour winds down in like a week, so this tour is pretty much over. I believe this tour is heading overseas next year in 2023. Well, hope you liked the review and all that. Thanks for watching.